Now, as we know, with the bombshell information that just dropped about Barack Obama and the intelligence community manufacturing the Russia hoax, which is what jump-started the people around the country, especially the leftists, the lamestream media, the propagandists, the progressives. The thing that got them all hyped up was the Russia, where they thought the election was stolen from their beloved Hillary Clinton with the help of Putin. And this was created, manufactured, whatever you want to call it, by Obama, and then disseminated with 17 other intelligence high-ups like John Brennan, James Clapper, James Comey. All of these guys helped create this story, put it out to the media, put it out to the public, and it actually did cost President Trump the 2020 election and made his first term a nightmare because the foundation for those impeachments came from the Russia hoax. And so now let's fast forward. And now Jeffrey Epstein, everybody knows who this dude is. This man is not even here anymore. As a matter of fact, there's videos floating around of his deposition in 2010, where when he was speaking with different officials and he was asked about Bill Clinton, he was asked about all of these different people. And guess what he did? He pled the fifth across the board. But here's what the media played. They took one question when they asked about, did he know President Trump? And remember now, this was in 2010 when they asked him, they asked him specifically, have you ever been with Donald Trump and the presence of any underage girls? He pled the fifth. And so the lamestream media, and this is happening right now, they took that clip and they got it out on different social media platforms like, see, Trump's guilty because Epstein pled the fifth. Now, if you look right here on the screen, what this is the transcript of his deposition. And if you look, Jeffrey Epstein pled the fifth on every single name that he was asked about. And as you see right here in the box in the red, isn't it true, sir, that by the term strongest, you meant that you had taken steps to conceal the presence of Bill Clinton on your island? Mr. Pagluka, as you can see, I don't know how to pronounce that name, looks Italian, object to form and foundation. The witness pled the fifth. So you got Mr. Cassell, who is asking questions, and you see him pleading the fifth. But the lamestream media and the demon rats, they want to play it like, oh, it's some big bombshell. But it gets even worse because over the last few days, ever since the news broke that beyond a shadow of a doubt, Obama is the architect of the Russia hoax, what the Democrats and the lamestream media have been doing is trying to dominate the news cycle. They're putting out headlines like, oh, the DOJ told Trump that he may be that he's in the Epstein files. What they're not telling people is the date that the DOJ told President Trump that was in 2021, that his name was mentioned. And if you notice in any articles they put out, they make sure they add that additional sentence, but name being in it does not mean there's any wrongdoings because they know the Obama DOJ and FBI had the files, never released it. The Biden DOJ and FBI had the files, never released it. And I guess Trump was so guilty with Epstein that Obama decided that he would just create a Russia hoax because Trump was so guilty with Epstein, he felt like he needed to create a fake hoax to help it. Man, get out of here with that crap. But you got people, because they never listen to Trump, they don't pay attention to anything that conservative media says. So do you know how many people, this is literally the first time that they've ever heard that Trump name was in the Epstein files? I've had people get on my pages and, oh, Brian, look at your boy. And I'm sitting there like, wow, these people really do stay in the bubble because this is old news. As a matter of fact, what's real funny is how they keep bringing up Trump's name. But guess who the lamestream media never talks about, who we know was on the island, who we know was really close friends with him, is Bill Clinton. As a matter of fact, and I'm going to get back to this article because in this video, I got some clips I want you to see. Matter of fact, remember now, this is the picture of the lady. This is what she looked like when she was flying high, soaring, had the short hairdo, was doing the nefarious things and assaulting young people left and right. This is what she looks like right now as an inmate. Big difference, huh? She let the hair grow out. As you can see, she's not getting very much sunlight, right? So they called this woman to testify. Now, remember, the Democrats are saying, oh, release everything, release everything. What is Trump hiding? What is Trump hiding? Now, they're doing that because they know what happened allegedly is that under the Biden DOJ and FBI, a lot of things were destroyed. But you can't tell the incoming administration, hey, we destroyed evidence and we destroyed files. Think about the January 6th committee. You do realize that the entire January 6th committee work, impeachment and stuff, they did everything involved in it. Would it shock you if you found out that they destroyed it and threw it all out? Everything. all of the so-called evidence that they used to bring it to Trump and all of the proof that he was so guilty, they destroyed it all. So for anybody to believe that they wouldn't have done the same thing in this because of the names it had, you're crazy. But guess what they told Bondi and Cash Patel and everybody coming in? Hey, y'all, saying we got the files. We got the files. We got this for you. Knowing that it was BS. So Pam Bondi says, yeah, I've got it on my desk for review. And she did. What they didn't tell her is that it was a nothing burger. So you got MAGA and Republicans saying, oh, Bondi lied. No, Bondi was lied too. But she can't come out and tell y'all, hey, listen, I trusted my predecessor and they set me up to look crazy like they did now. So the Democrats felt there was no way that anything could happen. So they were taunting Trump. Hey, bring it out, Trump. What you hiding? What they didn't know is that behind the scenes, President Trump was working to get the grand jury testimonies unsealed. And then they went even deeper. They said, you know what? Screw this. Let's go straight to the horse's mouth. And so they went straight to Ghislaine Maxwell and said, hey, let's do this. Come on in and talk to us, and we'll see what we can do to help you. And so remember, the same people saying, oh, Trump, yeah, Trump. And then even Sunny hosted on The View in 2024, she said, if you're enjoying this video, do me a solid, hit that thumbs up, because I will never ask you for a cash app or a super chat. But you hitting that like button, it really helps. It helps spread the information out. And if you aren't subscribed to the channel, subscribe. And then once you do, whether you're subscribed already or if you're subscribing today, make sure that you hit the notification bell and then select all, because YouTube has been having issues with the notifications. But if you select all, that's where you'll be notified when I upload new videos. I don't feel we should give up the names of the people who are on that list and blah, blah, blah. You know why? Because of the Clintons and everybody else that she knew was on it. But now let's swing that pendulum. Once the information has spread that, hey, listen, there's no documents that they can go and release. There's nothing to worry about. Matter of fact, let's sweep that under the rug. Let's flip this back on Trump, who they know is completely innocent of anything nefarious with young people. They know it. And so they flip and they spin it on Trump to dominate the news cycle, to take everybody's attention away from Obama being criminally investigated for treason and those intelligence agents. So they go get Ghislaine. Now, remember, they was, no names. But the moment that they felt like the coast was clear, you got Sonny Hostin dropping Trump's name and saying Trump was in it. And this.
People were dying for this information. There was some sort of list that everybody thought was going to come out, and who's on the list. What's important for us to note is we shouldn't be repeating names that are on the list, because just because your name has not on the list, but in the documents, just because your name is on the documents doesn't mean that you have done anything criminally irresponsible or illegal or civilly irresponsible.
Or that you were a client.
Or that you were a client.
Right.
These documents, as I read them, only reflect Epstein's sexual assaults of women and his sexual behavior. So I think that...
And Ghislaine also?
And Ghislaine. And so being named in this suit does not equate to being accused of wrongdoing. And I think that is extremely important, because conspiracy theorists seem to not understand or enjoy facts.
Yes.
These are the facts.
There is a list. Trump's name is on the logs, the passenger logs of Epstein's aircraft, at least 7 times. That's already been made public. I mean, of course, Trump is denying any and all allegations, but all of that information is out there. Why not just put it to rest and say, release the list?
And then the Wall Street Journal allegedly finds this letter. I mean, they find it it was a letter from 2003 that they mysteriously find within the last week. And allegedly, it's a personal letter that Trump wrote to Epstein where a naked woman was drawn on it. And it says something like, hey, enjoy your secrets, or to your secrets. Now, it is an unverified source. The Wall Street Journal has never published or shown the letter. It's just alleged. But to them, it's somebody gave it to them. Don't know who, don't know what the letter says, haven't seen it, they won't publish it. But every media outlet is running with it. And guess what Trump did? Suing them for $20 billion. He's going to sue the Wall Street Journal for $20 billion. He's already said it, because it's a lie, and he said it's not true. Now, the lawsuit hasn't hit yet, but that's what he said he's going to do. Then they say, oh, Trump's trying to quiet people down. So they go get Ghislaine Maxwell, because at first it was nobody. We don't need to say names. Then they thought they had Trump. They said, yeah. So Ghislaine comes in there. And check out what her lawyer said about what happened in her testimony today. And then I'll get back to why the Democrats are in full-blown panic.
Productive day today with the Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche and Ghislaine Maxwell. First, we want to thank the Deputy Attorney General for being so professional with all of us and for meeting with us. He took a full day and asked a lot of questions, and Ms. Maxwell answered every single question. She never stopped. She never invoked a privilege. She never declined to answer. She answered all the questions truthfully, honestly, and to the best of her ability. And that's all the comment we're going to have today about the meeting. We don't want to comment about the substance of the meeting for obvious reasons, and we'll go from there. So thank you all so much.
Will you guys be coming back for a second day?
We're not going to comment on that now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, here's why the Democrats are in full-blown panic mode. You heard him say she never invoked the Fifth Amendment. And the thing about it, because now the mainstream media, the Democrats are saying, you know what? We can't trust that testimony. She met with the DOJ before the testimony. Every single inmate or jail prisoner, whoever it is, that is deciding to testify or give up information to the prosecutors, they do a thing called a proffer. And what a proffer agreement, it is arrangement where you say, look, tell us what you know. And if you tell us what you know and is worthy, we'll cut you a deal of some kind. Maybe you'll get out early, maybe cut your time in half, whatever it is. But it's a proffer agreement. And that is very, very common. But another condition of the proffer agreement that the mainstream media doesn't want you to know is in those proffer agreements, there's a stipulation that says if we catch you lying or if you misled us, if you left something out, you can be your whatever your full sentence is can be flipped and you will serve it out. So even the years that they gave her, because what she was really facing was a life sentence, and she got like 20-something years. And under this testimony, if she lies, she's going back to life, not to 20-something years, life in prison, because she's already been in there for like 8 years. Okay, so that's what's going to happen. So she's not going to play with that. All right, and so they and then Todd Blanche is the attorney for the DOJ. He was also President Trump's attorney during his case in New York, the Ledger case. So Todd Blanche is a very, very effective attorney. He's an attack dog, and she gave up everything. And they say, allegedly, there was 100 names she dropped. As a matter of fact, President Trump has something to say about it. But before that, check out this information from Real America's Voice as they talk about her testimony and really who it is that the Democrats are trying to protect and just how dangerous this is for their party right now. Check it out.
That really interesting comment there. Look at Bill Clinton 20 times on the island. What do you know, Mike?
Well, not only that, Jeffrey Epstein went to the Bill Clinton White House at least 17 times. His name was on the White House visitor logs during the Bill Clinton presidency. We also know that Epstein's attorneys in court testified that Jeffrey Epstein helped co-found the Clinton Global Initiative and credit Jeffrey Epstein as the Clinton Global Initiative being Epstein's idea. We also know that Jeffrey Epstein shepherded Bill Clinton around Africa in 2002 for one of the 5-country Africa tours that Bill Clinton was doing around the time he set up the Clinton Foundation. Certainly the links between the Clintons and the Epsteins are like peanut butter and jelly. They seem to slide right into each other at every link. And obviously this is something that Trump is trying to draw attention to, which happens to coincide with the revelations from Tulsi Gabbard around the Russiagate fiasco, where, of course, the Clintons were implicated once again. It was John Brennan who wrote on a napkin during the summer of 2016, at the height of campaign season, that Hillary Clinton had hatched a plan to frame Trump as a Russian asset. And they went ahead with Russiagate anyway. And then when Hillary Clinton got in trouble with the FBI for her own mishandling of classified documents, when she had classified emails on a non-classified server in our own phone, when she destroyed those phones, which were subpoenaed by Congress, she was let off the hook by FBI Director James Comey, who, instead of charging her with the felony of willful misconduct or gross negligence, he came up with a brand new standard at FBI called extreme recklessness. So it's not gross negligence, because that would be a crime, but extreme recklessness, which magically the FBI determined was not a crime, anything to keep the Clintons out of jail.
So as you heard right there, Jeffrey Epstein has been credited with helping the Clintons set up their foundation, the Clinton Foundation. And needless to say, the things that we've heard about the Clinton Foundation and with children allegedly out in Haiti. But that's a whole nother video and another topic. So at the end of the day, the rabbit hole goes deep. But check out what President Trump had to say about Ghislaine Maxwell's testimony and who everybody should be paying attention to. Because see, the media keeps trying to swing it like Trump is like looking out for her or whatever. No. The fact of the matter is they tried to do a coup on the man, then tried to take his life. And now I literally heard somebody say on television, as a matter of fact, it was Al Sharpton of all people on MSNBC saying, how it's unprecedented for a president to attempt to go after and to arrest a former president. I just can't believe when he said that. I said, oh my God, these people are insane. They just spent the last 4 or 5 years going after this man. Under Joe Biden, who was the president, going after a former president. But see, these Democrats, either they're psycho rabid dogs or they literally just are so narcissistic that they live one day to the next and can just forget about the BS from the past because they have to. I'll watch these people do and say something one day and come out and be completely different and act like it didn't happen. Remember defund the police? And then last year when I watched them accusing Republicans of wanting to defund the police and how they're so strong about, the police and how dare anybody want to defund it. These people are nuts. But check out what Trump had to say.
It's something I haven't thought about. It's really something. It's something I'm allowed to do it, but it's something I have not thought about. But you wouldn't rule it out. Well, I don't know about the meeting. I know it's taking place, and he's a fantastic man. He's a great attorney, and people should really focus on how well the country's doing, or they should focus on the fact that Barack Hussein Obama led a coup, or they should focus on the fact that Larry Summers from Harvard, that Bill Clinton, who you know very well, and lots of other friends, really close friends of Jeffrey Summers, should be spoken about. Because, Jeffrey Epstein should be spoken about. And they should speak about them because they don't talk about them. They talk about me. I have nothing to do with it. It's something I haven't thought about.
Well, you heard him name names. Larry Summers, Bill Clinton. And they say there's over 100 names that this woman spoke about, not to mention the connection with the Clinton Foundation, allegedly. But check out this other report here that really goes more in depth about what's going on real quick.
For the first time, prosecutors at the Department of Justice sat down with Jeffrey Epstein's former girlfriend to see if she'll reveal any secrets about his sex crimes. Ghislaine Maxwell is in a federal prison in Florida for her role in Epstein's sex trafficking scheme. And as Fox News reporter Rebecca Castor explains, she could be looking to score a lighter sentence.
At a federal courthouse in Tallahassee, not far from the prison where Ghislaine Maxwell is serving a 20-year sentence, Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche is hoping she'll shed new light on Jeffrey Epstein's sex crimes.
We had a very productive day today. She answered all the questions truthfully, honestly, and to the best of her ability.
But it begs the question, at what price? She's currently appealing her conviction and sentence at the Supreme Court, but the DOJ is not commenting on whether they'll offer her a deal.
The question is, does she have something that would be material for a criminal prosecution, not just embarrassing?
There's a bipartisan push on Capitol Hill to get the DOJ to turn over all of the Epstein files. Democrats don't like the idea of Trump administration prosecutors questioning Maxwell behind closed doors.
Trump is sending his personal lawyer, Todd Blanche, to try and execute a corrupt cover-up, potentially offering leniency to a woman who also abused the victims. Enough. Enough.
The sit-down comes several months after the DOJ told Trump his name appeared in the files and later told the public there was not a client list to release.
I don't think any of that's a surprise that he's mentioned the documents. I mean, of course, it's everybody who's ever met the guy is going to be mentioned.
Lawmakers on the House Oversight Committee also want a meeting with Maxwell. Her attorney says today's discussion will inform how she moves forward with their subpoena. In Washington, Rebecca Castor.
So right now, Democrats are in full-blown panic mode because, as you see, everybody wants to act like, oh, President Trump is so concerned. It is a Republican-led House that subpoenaed Ghislaine. And guess who else they subpoenaed? The Clintons. The Clintons have been subpoenaed to testify before the House. And who do you think is pushing for that? If President Trump didn't want it to happen, it wouldn't happen. He wants it to happen. Just like he stood right there and said, yo, you keep talking about me. We need to look at Bill Clinton, Larry Summers. And they say there's hedge fund managers, the Clinton Foundation. There's a lot of people in this. And as you see right here, Ghislaine Maxwell received limited immunity during her meeting with the Deputy Attorney General, as rightfully she should. But as you heard Professor Turley say, her getting a deal is based on whether her information can lead to a criminal prosecution of one of these demon rats or the Clintons, Barack, whoever is involved. She's got to come with some juice to really be able to get that. But the one thing that we do know, under Obama and Biden, there was no there. If there was anything on Trump, it would have ran 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, in every language known to man on the planet. But guess what? It didn't, because it isn't. But they never mentioned Bill Clinton. As a matter of fact, I'm going to show you something about good old Bill. This right here is Bill Clinton. And as you can see, painting of Clinton in blue dress hung in Jeffrey Epstein's house. In his house, okay? What type of pull must you have for a president, a former president, as you can see, and I just clicked on another one, the artist who painted Jeffrey Epstein's portrait of Bill Clinton in a blue dress. Bill Clinton in the blue dress. That is amazing. So that's who the Democrats are trying to have from. That's who the mainstream media is trying to protect. They keep trying to push it on Trump, but you know how these Democrats are. The more you see them project, you really know they're terrified. So they keep saying, yeah, Trump, what you gonna do? They were doing that because they really didn't want the papers to come out. But they're so ignorant, they're in such a bubble. They did that thinking that it was gonna make Trump supporters peel away from President Trump. It didn't. It just made us get in even tighter because we know, we see through the BS. We know what they're doing. They're just trying to dominate a news cycle. They're trying to distract attention away from Obama being a treasonous POS and trying to attempt a coup, and the fact that Bill Clinton was best close friends and has been named as being there with young people on the island, as well as Prince Andrew, and apparently, based on the testimony, 100 other people, hedge fund managers, politicians, very powerful people. Heads are about to roll, and I'm here for it. So if you tell me what you think about this, what do you think about this whole thing? Do you believe that the ball is about to drop and there's more Democrat politicians that are on that list, which is why they never released it under Obama or Biden? Or do you think that there's some to it and that Trump may be caught up in the mix? Either which way, I'd love to hear your opinion on the matter. And if you haven't already, hit that like button. If you aren't subscribed to the channel, subscribe. And most importantly, thank you for watching, and make sure that you stay safe, and you be great. I'm Brian Maxwell saying I look forward to seeing you at the top. Over and out, y'all.